Hello viewer, today we will learn about GDP of United States. So my first question is, what is the approximate GDP nominal of United States? The correct option is C, 25 US dollar trillion is the approximate GDP of United States. Okay, question number 2, which sector contributes the most of to the US GDP? The correct option is C. Services sector contributes the most to the US GDP. Okay. Question number 3. What is the main components of the US GDP? The correct option is A. Personal consumption expenditures is the main component of the US GDP. Okay, question number 4. Which of the following is not a component of the US GDP? The correct option is D. Transfer payment is not a component of US GDP. Okay, question number 5. What is the approximate percentage of US GDP accounted for by the service sector? The correct option is C. 70% is the approximate percentage of US GDP accounted for by the service sector. Okay, question number 6. Which industry is the largest contributor to the US GDP? The correct option is A. Finance and insurance is the largest contributor to the US GDP. Okay, question number 7. What is the approximate GDP growth rate of the US in 2020? The correct option is C. Minus 3.4% is the approximate GDP growth rate of the US in 2020. Okay. Question number 8. Which of the following is a characteristic of the US GDP? The correct option is D. All of the above. It means high inflation rate, low unemployment rate, high government debt is a characteristic of the US GDP. Okay, question number 9. What is the main driver of the US GDP growth? The correct option is A. Consumer spending is the main driver of the US GDP growth. Okay, question number 10. Which of the following is not a factor that affect the US GDP? The correct option is D. Weather pattern is not a factor that affect the US GDP. Okay, question number 11. What is the approximate percentage of the US GDP accounted for by the federal government? The correct option is C. 20% is the approximate percentage of the US GDP accounted for by the federal government. Okay, question number 12. Which of the following industries has experienced significant growth in the US GDP? The correct option is D. All of the above. It means healthcare technology, e-commerce, renewable energy industries has experienced significant growth in US GDP. Okay. Question number 13. What is the main challenges facing the US GDP growth? The correct option is B. Low productivity growth is the main challenge facing the US GDP growth. Okay, question number 14. Which of the following is a positive indicator for the US GDP growth? The correct option is C. Increasing business environment is a positive indicator for the US GDP growth. Okay, question number 15. What is the approximate GDP per capita of the United States? The correct option is C. 70,000 US dollar is the approximate GDP per capita of the United States. Okay, question number 16. Which of the following is characteristic of the US GDP growth? The correct option is steady and consistent growth is a characteristic of US GDP growth. Okay, question number 17. What is the main driver of the US GDP growth in the service sector? The correct option is D, all of the above. It means business service, financial service, health service is the main driver of the US GDP growth in service sector. Okay, the question number 18. Which of the following is a challenge facing the US GDP growth in the manufacturing sector? The correct option is D, all of the above. It means high labor cost, low productivity growth, increasing global competition is a challenge facing the US GDP growth in the manufacturing sector. Okay, 19 question number 19. What is the approximate percentage of the US GDP accounted for by the information sector? The correct option is C. 15% is the approximate percentage of the US GDP accounted by the information sector. Okay. Question number 20. Which of the following is a major positive indicator for the US GDP growth in the technology sector? The correct option is A. Increasing investment in research and development is a positive indicator for the US GDP growth in the technology sector. Thank you for watching.